Hello, welcome back to Lorcana Villain. My name is Baker, and today we're going to be taking a look at an updated version of Steem Amber Songs for the Season 2 format of Lorcana. As always, there are timestamps down below for you to skip to whatever part of the video speaks to you the most, but we're going to start off today a little bit different because some of you may have noticed that since we started the channel, we have been floating around in this smoky magical abyss. This is a pocket realm that I built for myself in the world of Lorcana while I helped gather some lore in my unending quest to take over the Greater Luminary. And in the process, I've been building a secret lair, for I feel all good villains need one, and it is finally ready. So do please step into my office. Yes, I think you'll agree that this is much more befitting of a villain of my status. And look at all this wonderful lore we've got around us, and I've got playing cards, three of them. I don't know where the rest of the deck's gone. I've got an apple. I've even got a crystal ball. Look, hello, crystal ball. Do you have anything to say to the viewers? Oh yeah. Yeah, Crystal Ball says like and subscribe. Thank you, Crystal Ball. Be gone, Crystal Ball! Anyway, welcome to the lair. Most of our future videos will be coming at you from the villain's lair, but let's move on. So, Season 2 format. I've had some chance to play a bit. I've had maybe 30 to 40 games, not as many as I'd have liked, but I've also been I have a group of friends that I play test with, and like there's also been sessions where they've just been playing and sharing their screen with the Discord call, and I've watched a lot. So I've done some research, and this weekend I was at Dark Sphere in London for a sealed box event, which was a lot of fun. Here is the deck list that I was able to put together for that particular event. It was a 40 card minimum, as many colours as you want. That's the deck that I ran. Feel free to pause and have a proper look at that if it pleases you. But yeah, that was an awful lot of fun, and I'm planning on going to Dark Sphere next month, where they are having a win a case tournament, which is looking to be pretty big. The one I was at the other day, there were about 80 people, and there was one the day before that where there was over 100, so I'm expecting a really good turnout for that, and that will definitely be reported on top 8 lists, and I actually will get to play, so that will be fun. So that's coming. Also, yesterday there was a big event in Liverpool at the TCG Expo. I'm still looking for the deck list. Maybe by the time this video comes out I'll have found them, but as soon as I have found them, we'll report on that. And of course, the new season has started, so as more tournaments come up, you'll see lots more top cut lists on the channel. Overall, I think it's going to be a really healthy meta. I still think that Steem Amber is going to end up being, if not the best, then one of the 2 or 3 that are considered the best. I do think it's quite a healthy meta, though. I don't think it's going to be as single-sided, because Steem Amber was just overwhelmingly dominating, with Ruby Amethyst, I think, quite distinctly as the second place, but still, compared to Steem Amber, like, that was their format. But I think this might be a bit more balanced. There's a lot of things I'm really excited for. Obviously, you've got Steem Amber. Updated Ruby Amethyst as bounce control seems really strong. Ruby Amber seems really, really strong, and I'm really looking forward to testing that. Emerald Steel with Beast Relentless is looking great. Amethyst Sapphire, even Ruby Sapphire, with some great draw engines off of Flaversham. I'm so proud of Flaversham. You rep that, Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a really healthy meta. But Steem Amber Strongs is still good, if not better than it was before. So there's going to be 3 lists that I'm going to show you. The games that we play, I'm only going to focus on one particular list, and that'll be the first one we look at. But I am going to also show you a couple of other deck lists for other variants that you could play of Steem Amber. So let's take a look. So here we have Steem Amber Heroic Songs. So a lot of this is carried over from previous format. The Ariel, the Tinkerbell, the Rapunzel, the Shifted Tink, the Smash, although we'll talk about Smash, Be Our Guest, Whole New World, Grab Your Swords. This is already all pretty straightforward. I probably don't need to explain to you in too much depth why these cards are good and remain good. But it's just been supported with so much more to make it stronger and make it more consistent, in my opinion. So some of the key cards that we need to talk about, first of all, are, of course, this Cinders Cinderella. We have Cinderella, Ballroom Sensation, 1-cost inkable with a 1/2 stat line, Storyborn Hero Princess, and Singer 3. This character counts as cost 3 to sing songs and 1 lore pip. So we'll of course get to talking about the shifted Cinderella, but this alone is just such a fantastic card. And there's only one card in this particular deck that benefits from it, although if you look at different combinations with Amethyst, you can sing Friends on the other side, and more to talk about. But with this list in particular, it's just this card, Let the Storm Rage On. 3-cost uninkable action song, deal 2 damage to chosen character, draw a card. So just the ability to, obviously going first in a perfect world, put down this Cinderella, and then you are immediately threatening to just pop whatever 1-drop that they want to put down. Like, again, there are a few 1-drops that will survive this, like Minnie Mouse, the new Flynn Rider, and we'll get to talking about them because I think they're going to increase in popularity as a response to this card. But this play is just so strong, and like, you don't have to do it turn 1. It's going to have utility later on in the game just as extra chip and like being a cantrip, and letting you draw the card. But being able to threaten this turn 2 is so incredibly strong. You look at one of the other most powerful cards that we have in new format is the new Queen, 1-cost 2/2, but more importantly, the Queen that she shifts onto for 2. And has the ability Who's the Fairest, who manipulates strength on both sides of the field and quests for 2, 4/3 stat line. This new Queen is incredibly strong, not only for its ability to manipulate strength and like make you be able to go into characters and not suffer, pretty much never suffer any damage from it. She's a high quester, but just being able to put her down on turn 2, and then from turn 2 you are threatening Whole New World and grab your swords. Don't get me wrong, it's not always going to be preferable to play those 2 cards on turn 2, but sometimes turn 3, 4 might be fine. It might be good enough depending on what you've drawn and how much of your curve you think you can get through before playing the wheel, or looking at how much your opponent's struggling. You can make that call sooner or later. So it is so incredibly strong, this new Queen, and we'll continue to see an abundance of play. It will be one of the rulers of this format. And that being the case, even if this was your only target, and there are other things that we can ping with this Let Storm Rage On. I've actually written notes. The 1-cost Stitch, Lilo, Pascal from Amethyst, Hook, who I think gets squeezed out of format completely. And then there are 2 costs even that like you get even more value. There's the new Huntsman. There's the new evasive Jafar and Cruella de Vil's in Steel and Sapphire. There's the Baby Aurora if they want to shift into the warded one. Gaston, Philatites, the new Amethyst Pinocchio that quests for 3. The Enchantress from Emerald, Flynn Rider, the Emerald Flynn Rider, the new Ruby Queen of Hearts, the Steel Cinderella that's not in this particular list but is in one of the other lists, Maleficent, although Maleficent's already drawing a card so you've gotten value, and then even things like 3-cost, like there's Fidget, which isn't receiving a lot of play at the moment, but I think it will gain popularity because I think there's not a lot of early respect to evasives, and the natural response to that is a growth in evasives, and being able to hit 3 on an evasive is good, so I think Fidget is a really good response card, but this gets him if he does end up seeing play. And you could mention Hades as well, which is 4-cost, although less relevant because as soon as you put down Hades you get your value, but hey, it's another thing that you can ping for this. So all of those extra options on top of this Queen, which is going to be one of the strongest cards in format, and you can make strong arguments that Stitch, Gaston, Philatites, the new Pinocchio, Pascal, Hook, I think Hook gets squeezed out, but a lot of that will continue to be popular. So you just open up so much, and even in the mirror, like you stop them putting down their Cinderella or their Queen, and it like in the mirror, if both players open Queen Cinderella, it kind of just becomes who goes first, which is a bit of a shame. But then there are ways, like, as people learn this meta, like I've already started getting to a point where if it's a mirror, if they go first and they put down their Cinderella, I just don't put down my 1-drop very rarely, because you need to be able to play around it and not just give them it's not just the removal, like they're replacing the cards, so that like you want to shut that down. So this Cinderella is so incredibly strong. We should immediately talk about the shifted one. We have Cinderella Stout-Hearted, 7-cost Inkable, 5/5, Shift 5, 3 lore pips, Resist 2, and the Singing Sword. Whenever you play a song, this character may challenge ready characters this turn. So that in itself is so powerful. Being able to, like, I don't need to explain that again. Like, it's not it's not always assured value, because they might already be exerted or might not even be having anything on the field. But then you're putting down a Cinderella who can immediately quest for 3, and it's just yeah. And it does fall into it, like things that die to removal and didn't necessarily get off assured value, but you probably are getting assured value just off of, if you shifted it, then you quested for 3 at least. And I don't buy into the whole dice to removal, because you need to make them burn through those cards anyway. And if you can pay just 5 for this, then most of the time you're equaling or getting value from them playing their removal for it. Niche circumstances depending and game state depending, but you hopefully get my point. So this Cinderella is so incredibly strong. We also need to look at this new beast. 5-cost Inkable, Shift 3, but it's irrelevant for this list and probably most lists running this beast, because it's really not the point. 2 lore pips, 3/5 stat line, and the ability It's Better This Way. At the start of your turn, if this character has no damage, draw a card. Just that part of the ability is so strong, being able to draw like 2 a turn. Basically, it's so good. It has some questing pressure, and then as soon as you do have damage on him, then you are threatening big numbers. This is such an incredibly strong card. Even better. Like I originally thought, oh, this is good, but I think this is going to be a defining player in our meta. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this beast. Also worth mentioning the Prince, who is a new bodyguard, a 3-cost Inkable with a 1/3 stat line, quest for 2, but also has Resist 1. Really strong, like great for protecting our queens or our baby Cinderella, or even our shift. Yeah, our queen has only got 3. Or our beast if we don't want damage going on to him and we instead want to keep drawing cards. Again, they can play chip damage cards, but still limit those options. So yeah, this Prince puts in a lot of work, and you could see a high account for this, absolutely. Best now, off the back of the principles, to talk about Hercules. He's not coming up a lot in most of the Steel Amber Season 2 lists that I'm seeing, and fair enough, but I really like Hercules. I love being able to threaten turn 4 challenge for 6, or even like just being able to quest, and the fact he's another target that can sing a whole new world. The Resist 2 is really great as well. He doesn't have the best willpower, sitting at only 3, but so like he does get removed easily, but by that point you've normally got your value from him, especially if you're shifting. So I have included this a Hercules line in this particular list, and I'm really liking him. And you could say, well, if you're going to do that, Baker, then why aren't you playing the 3-cost Steel Hercules? Which absolutely, if you made that choice, then I would not hold it against you at all. But I have found that just the extra lore pip and the Resist 1 as well, doesn't die to smash, and just like lots of things that he just ignores, like Tink sprinkle damage and stuff like that. He's just a bit harder to remove. So I'm enjoying the Prince, but if you wanted to, like, if you did decide to try Hercules and you thought, I want to try the bodyguard Hercules instead, then fair enough. I'm finding that this is fine. The only other thing I'd really want to talk about in a little bit of detail is Smash, which I'm seeing as a cut to a lot of lists. And you'll notice that we're not playing Strength of a Raging Fire, which obviously has synergy with Cinderella. It's an extra song for you to be able to challenge ready characters, and this deck does do quite a good job of filling the field. It's really not uncommon to have 3 or 4 characters out or more, so you can get a lot of value off of it. In one of the other lists that I will show you, we are running those and we lean much more into Cinderella, but in this particular list I've decided to go with Smash. And one of the reasons I do like Smash is I like the assured, I like to know that I can deal with certain things, and I've written some notes of like some examples. So opposing shifted queens, like knowing that you can deal with that straight away without relevance to having to put down characters, especially if they've gone turn 1 baby queen, you've gone turn 1 put a character, they've gone turn 2 shift to their queen, you've gone turn 2, you can't even play Strength of a Raging Fire, yeah. Well, you could with Cinderella, but you wouldn't have enough characters. So turn 2, now you're putting down a second character. Their turn 3, they do a thing. Your turn 3, you now could put down another character. and then you could have Cinderella sing Strength of Raging Fire. But so that is reasonable to do. But I do like the knowing that you don't have to put down that third character, and you can just have an assured answer to certain things. And the list I'm going to give you, yeah, the opposing queen, aerials from the opponent, Hercules if he does gain popularity, obviously not the shifted one because resist 2, but the baby one for a 2 cost, the new Minnie Mouses, or even the old Minnie Mouse, and just a generic 1 drop with 1/3 stat line. The new Queen of Hearts, the ruby one that draws for every challenge, I think is really good as well. Immediately deals with that. Madam Mim Snake, probably not a prime target, but it's something you can do, and it can upset bounce. Cheshire Cat, either. I mean, obviously, the new Cheshire Cat also dies to Let the Storm Rage On, but the old Cheshire Cat, the one with 3 wall power, dies to it, and obviously with a new shifted Cheshire Cat, that just got a lot stronger. Also, Arthur is such an incredibly strong card in bounce, and knowing that you can just remove that from the field, really strong. The new Sapphire Cogsworth, obviously only the 2 cost one. You can't deal with the shifted one with this, but I think the new Cogsworth is really good and could end up being a really annoying part of our meta, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, it might be important to take out that baby Cogsworth. I don't know. The new Shere Khan in Ruby, which I don't think it's really strong, but I don't think it will see as many lists as you might think. But if I'm wrong, or you yourself are seeing a lot of Shere Khan, this will deal with it. The new Having a Think, Winnie the Pooh, and of course the Merlin Goat and Rabbit, which isn't always ideal because then you're still giving them value, but sometimes you just want to remove it from the field, especially if they've got a goat loop going where they're just putting it down, returning it with various things, and you can't get rid of it. Again, not preferable, but it's something you might feel the need to do. And the new Daisy Duck from Emerald. So there are a lot of things that it is just nice to know that you just have the immediate answer to. So that's why I've gone with Smash in this particular list. Other than that, I think our count should be pretty standard. We've got the 4 Stitch for extra drawing. We've only got 3 Rapunzel in this particular list, and I know season 1 I gave a lot of drama. I was the drama when it came to Rapunzel counts, but I think that this format, I think it's so much easier to get a whole new world on in this particular list, and we're running the 4 Stitch, so yeah, I think this is fine. Only a 3 cost of the baby Tink, only 2 of the prints. Obviously you could change these counts. I'm going to show you another couple of lists anyway, but if you wanted to stick with this style, but you could switch a couple of things down, you could go down to 2 Beast and 4 baby Tink if you really wanted that. Maybe you don't see as much need for a full 4 count of the baby Cinderella, even though I've just maximized like what a great play having that and Let the Storm Rage On in your opening hand. Maybe you want to cut one of the Storm Rage Ons. That's not completely unreasonable to me. I just really like to see them both in my opening hand. But yeah, this is the list that we're actually going to play with today, but I will quickly show you a couple of other variants. So this one I've called Cinders Rock Songs because we are running the Rockstar Stitch, and of course, as such, we're running the Baby Stitch. We're also running Simbas in here in place of the print, because obviously it's a 2 cost, so it's got synergy with Rockstar Stitch. 1 copy of the Baby Cinders as an extra target for the 3 Stout Heart Cinderella that we're running. You could make this 4 if you wanted to switch it, like you go down to 3 Baby Tink and 4 Stout Hearted Cinderella if you wanted to. Everything else is pretty standard. Yeah, you see we are running the 2 copies of Storm Rage On in this particular list, and then we're running Lanterns in this list, so a slightly different way of running it. And this one I've just called Singing Sword, where we are leaning all the way into Cinderella. 4-3 count of the babies, 4 count of the Stout Hearted, 3-3 of Storm Rage On and Raging Fire. We've got the full Beast count in here as well. A 3-4 Tink line. Again, you could play with these counts. Like some people want to like just cut the. I've even seen a couple of lists that have cut Big Tink completely. I don't agree with that. I think she's still just so strong. My opinion. Could turn out to be completely wrong, and all the new Steel Amber lists that make top cut don't put as much emphasis on her, but I'm not writing her off yet. So those are 3 ways of playing Steel Amber Songs. They'll be linked below as usual for you to go and try it yourself. I'm going to be using the Heroic Songs version. This video's already gone quite long, and I've had too many long videos lately, so it probably will just be 1 game, and I'll try and show one that's actually an interesting game. So let's go. Okay, we're going second. Let's see. We got the Storm Rage On. Be our guest. Hercules, Stout-Hearted Cinderella, Tink, and Grab Your Swords. Don't want to see that. I can throw one of these. Might keep 1. I'll throw this Hercules for now and this Cinderella. I think I keep this Tink for potential turn 4 Big Tink, or it could potentially just be Ink. I don't hate keeping Be Our Guest in case we need to dig for a piece. Yep, that looks alright to me. I do like to keep this in case we get the... We don't, unfortunately. That's not the greatest starting hand, to be honest. But we'll see how we do. We're in Gold 5. I thought it was going to reset this season, because that's I haven't done that this season. That's where I got to last season. So we'll see how we do. They're going to ink Madam Mim, so we're up against Bounce, which I do think is... like this deck does struggle a bit. We do draw the wheel, which we didn't really need by this point because well, no, we could still potentially get to it if we can get an aerial or something. We're going to ink the Stitch for now and call it a turn. Yeah, not a great opening. Obviously, you always want to start with at least a Cinderella or a Queen. They're going to ink Jiminy Cricket, so a Pinocchio variant, which isn't a bad thing. I don't know if I'd necessarily play Jiminy Cricket in this version of Bounce, but I do think this is a strong version nonetheless. We do find Big Tink, which we love to see. We will ink a Rapunzel. And do I want to play Be Our Guest, or would I prefer to just have it as guaranteed ink next turn for this Baby Tink? Because I don't really want to ink either of these. Yeah, I think I'd rather hold it and ink it at this point. We have pieces, we're not in desperate need for anything. So down, yeah, Quest, said that all wrong. Pinocchio, Quest, and probably down will come Flynn Rider. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting to see something bouncy, but there you go. Flynn Rider comes down, they're going to ink their Mad Hatter. Oh God, I would have loved to be fair, we can still get pretty good value off of Tinkerbell here. This is pretty fine. They're just going to bounce that back. There is a temptation to just get rid of that here, right now. There is a temptation. But this is probably better. Probably. If they bounce the Pinocchio back, maybe not. But at least we're still holding the Storm Rage on for when he does come down again. They're going to ink the Mad Hatter. And quest up with Pinocchio. And I'm expecting to see a bounce here. Quest with Flynn, of course. So now we're at 8 already. There's our bouncer. So Pinocchio, back he comes. And we're going to draw. We draw Stout-Hearted. I think you might really like, because we're falling behind and we might end up really needing to challenge ready characters. We're going to ink something. Yeah, I think we do probably get rid of you here. Because I'm not necessarily wheeling, because... I don't know, I think they might end up playing down a lot of their hand. Do I do this now, though, or... Yeah, I probably do, right? Yeah. I think that's probably still right. Because we do still take out this Madam Mim as well then. And like I said, we've got the Storm Rage on for when the Pinocchio does come down. We can just get rid of one of these Storm Rage on. That seems fine to me. And we'll put our Sprinkle onto Madam Mim to take them out. So yeah, I might not be wheeling. It depends what they start doing here. Obviously, it's Amethyst, so there is card draw in Amethyst. How much of it they're playing, I don't know. I assume some, more than just Jiminy Cricket. They're going to ink an Olaf. Down goes that Pinocchio that we were talking about, and likely to be followed up. They followed up by Madam Mim, so they're just going to bounce it right back. Yeah, that's fair. They take out our Tink. I'm kind of okay with that, though, because we can put Beast down. Oh, do I want to play her? No, I want to put Beast down. I do want to put Beast down, and I think we can actually get rid of this Rapunzel, although, again, it's a really great combo card with Beast to turn back on his card draw if he does get damage on him. But I think this is probably better. I don't think they're going to have anything that's going to be able to immediately remove. So we draw an extra card here. Yeah, that worked out pretty okay. I can go for 3. And then Aerial could finish you off. I kind of don't mind that. Won't be able to target because obviously Ward. Do I just ink one of these and play the other? Or do I ink one of these and just get Tink down now? Either way, we're inking one, I think. Oh no, to be fair, we might... Like, because we might find a song that we're happy to ink off of it. I do kind of want to get this down. I don't think that sounds awful. Although it does, if I play Tink, I could just play Tink after I've done this. I was just thinking, because then it will only have 3... It would have 3 wall power, so Beast going in would just remove me straight away. I need to instead go in with Beast and then Aerial. So I can just leave Tink to play a little bit after I've done that, essentially. So let's play Aerial. We find the Be Our Guest, so good. I think I'm happier to ink this There's no major piece I think I need to desperately dig for. Again, Stout-Hearted would be nice. And I don't think we're wheeling. I mean, finding grab your swords is quite important as well, though. So I would like to put down the other arrow. But do we need to ink? Can we wait until next turn? And then if we want to put down the tink, we can ink something else. Or we might not even have to put it down. I don't know. I may be overthinking this. There is a strong possibility that I'm overthinking this. Alternatively, if I do ink this now, then I can just play this aerial now as well. That also doesn't sound bad. We don't get a hit, which it sounds just like my luck. We will quest here because we need to start getting in the game because they're going to go up to 11 here. So we are falling behind, and they still do have cards in hand. Down comes second Kuzco. That's going to hurt. That hurt it will. We find a queen and a Rapunzel. Okay. So yeah, so I'm going... Oh yeah, to be fair, I could do it that way. We can go 3, and then we can put down Tink here, because it will take the sprinkle damage with that. So that's pretty cool. We're a fan of that. We can double quests. And do I want to ink this, or I might need the extra ink just to like slow them down? It would be nice to put down that queen, but we'll throw it for now. Shout out to my man Breezy. Kuzco on the field. Go subscribe to Breezy. Down comes the Pinocchio. And then, oh yeah, that's kind of painful. We do have Storm Rage. Oh no, to be fair, this is gonna be absolutely poggers. This is gonna be because we get the sprinkle damage, and yes. I'm a fan of all of these things. So we will Storm Rage on. Oh, do I need to sing it? Can I? I'm not playing the wheel. I'd like to play Rapunzel, but then I could still... I think I can just pay for this, although I might want to play something I draw with Rapunzel. We'll do it this way. We will do it this way. Let's get rid of you. I am giving up Tink here by challenging into the Kuzco, but I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Drawing Stitch is pretty poggers as well. This is looking okay. We are behind, obviously, but it's looking all right. And we need to get rid of this Pinocchio. We can't let you get any closer to game. That is not a thing I can allow. Put down the Stitch. I think sounds really great. I think that sounds like a bit of me. That does. And we can even ink one of these. And because we're against purple green, I can even put down one of these. And now we're kind of cooking. And now we're kind of cooking. I'm just saying. But now we're kind of cooking. But anything could happen. Quite literally, I've seen pretty much all of it. Down comes Kuzco. So that's going to guarantee get them to 17. Do I want to put down this Tinkerbell? Yes, because then I would like to be able to threaten whatever you're going to put on the board next turn. There we go. Good conversation. Good chat. Good chat had by all. We quest up, we quest up, we quest up, we quest up, we quest up. We quest up, and I think, I don't want to peak too early, but I think we might have game. We might. It may be a thing. We went really behind, but we at least demonstrated this deck's ability to catch up and control the field, and we didn't have an optimal start at all. We are going to leave it there. Because it's been a long video, but I'm not going to come straight back to Steem Amber Songs because I want to cover a lot of things because meta's just started. But if you would like to see me try a specific other variant of Steem Amber Songs, whether it's basically if you want to see one of the other 2 versions that I showed you, let me know in comments, and then I will make a point of cycling back to it. But if one of these lists or anything close to it ends up being top contenders in top 8 lists, which I think it will be, then you'll probably see us sample a champion of a tournament's version of a list at some point. But let me know in comments what you'd like to see. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, please subscribe for future Lorcana content, and we'll see you soon.